Welcome to Module 7. This is the transition from the high Cold War to the end of the Soviet Union, and then the brief unipolar moment where the U.S. stands alone as the world's only superpower. We're going to look at Ronald Reagan's strategy, the collapse of the USSR, the first Gulf War, and the growing focus on the Middle East. Reagan enters office calling the Soviet Union an evil empire. But behind the rhetoric, there's a coherent strategy. Military buildup, economic pressure, support for anti-Soviet movements, negotiations from a position of strength. Combined with internal Soviet weakness, this contributes to the rise of Gorbachev, arms control deals like the INF Treaty, and ultimately the collapse of the Soviet Empire and then the Soviet Union itself. Suddenly, there's no rival superpower. People talk about the end of history, a liberal international order led by the U.S., a world where American power is essentially unchallenged. Then we get the Gulf War. Iraq invades Kuwait. The U.S. leads a massive coalition to drive Saddam Hussein out. It's quick, decisive, and for many, it seems to validate the idea of a U.S.-led New World Order. But note this, Bush 41 doesn't go all the way to Baghdad. There's still caution about overreach. Through the 1990s, the Middle East becomes more central. Oil, Israel and Palestine, terrorism, sanctions on Iraq. The U.S. is trying to balance stability, ideals, and its own economic and strategic interests. In the evolution of American foreign policy, I detail how U.S. policymakers saw this unipolar moment. The hopes, the overconfidence, and the blind spots. Key points from this module: Reagan's strategy helps bring the Cold War to an end. The 1990s are a unipolar period, with the U.S. as the dominant global power. The Middle East becomes a focal point, setting the stage for what comes next. For more depth on Reagan's policies, the Soviet collapse, the Gulf War, and the 1990s Middle East policy, check the middle chapters of the book. In Module 8, we'll move into the world of 9/11, the war on terror, Obama, Trump, and Biden, and the ongoing fight over what American foreign policy should be in the 21st century. I'll see you in the final module.